Good day, all of my Missouri family. I am sorry I can't be there live with you guys today, but I had a prior commitment. But I wanted to pre-record a video and talk to you and let you know that there's a lot of negative things going on out there right now. A lot of attacks, and I am ignoring it because it's not productive. And so I'm going to focus on standing up Missouri because that's what our focus needs to be at this point. Um, in my opinion, it is we need to get these states stood up, and then we come together. We have a Continental Congress, and we build the leadership from there. We're all here to help and guide one another. You know, we all wanted away from the Marecki and Geiger camp because of telling us what to do, and it was not acting as a republic. So I really think that we need to stay focused on getting Missouri stood up, and then having the Continental Congress, and then the rest of it's going to come. We're here for guidance, not leadership, because we don't want leadership anymore. Tim said in one of his meetings with us that the federal government were given 19 enumerated powers. That's a lot less government than what we're used to. And none of us are even have ever seen self-governance. We've never experienced it. Even our great-grandparents were never in a true republic. And I know a lot of people are struggling with this. They're having a hard time because they can't let go of that indoctrination that, there has to be a leadership. And this website, I know, it's been up and down and all around, but we have to remember, we've only separated from the Geiger and Marecki camp not too terribly long ago. It takes a while to build something. And all of we have no money. You're operating on volunteers and good heart. That's what we're operating on. So they're doing it in their spare time or in their off time of work. So there's about 5 of them working on it. And so, I mean, anybody else that has any kind of recommendations or want to, contribute to that, could reach out to one of us. The directory's on the website, or it should be. If not, we've handed that directory out many, many times. And Stephanie has my information if anybody wants to reach out to me and ask questions or offer help or whatever. We're in this together. I feel like God wants us to move this ball together, not as leadership. And I know there's some people out there that even in the group of 8 that everybody keeps talking about, the Wayshower group of 8, they were only ever intended to help guide, and I know that there was someone out there saying self-appointed. We're not self-appointed. We came together to try and go over the old documents that Tim Turner had and that Dave had, and try to mingle them together and try to give people paperwork that they can use in their assembly process. And there is no black and white assembly process. Each state's going to have some little different thing that's going to need to be addressed by that state. And so I've been in this for a year. I've seen a lot of different options, and the reason I feel like California's process will work the best for us is because I've been trying to talk people into coming and joining an assembly. Unfortunately, I feel like in Missouri, we're a little bit spoiled. We haven't had to deal with the corruption that perhaps New Hampshire has dealt with, or Connecticut, or any of those guys. They've dealt with a lot more than what we've had to deal with. And so what this method is going to do is going to free the counties. It will only take 3 to 5 members to hold the assembly in place. And whenever the explosion happens, when people wake up, if whatever the event is that happens, and they wake up and they decide, oh my gosh, we need to, start seeking out where we need to go. How do we register? What do we do to have these elections? They're going to come find us. And guess what? The hard work's done. It's already been established. All they have to do now is register to vote, become a member. Excuse me. I'm fighting allergies this week. So that's my message really is everybody, the only thing that we have control over really is ourselves. We don't have control over anybody else. I'm not trying to drag people to the finish line. Everybody wanted Trump to do 80 million things, and the truth is 80 million of us need to do one thing. Flyover conservatives came up with that slogan, and it's very true. Nobody's going to be our saviors. We are our saviors. And this thing with people wanting leadership, isn't that why we left? Because we had too much leadership? I mean, how did we get to where we are today? Is because we allowed other people to dictate us, basically. And that's what's trying to happen again. We need to, in each state, take our own leadership into our own hands, stand up our states, have a convention of the states, and then we put our federal leadership together with those 120-day elections. We elect a president. We go that route. If anybody disagrees with that, I'm sorry. I don't disagree with that. I really do think that we have to take ourselves into accountability here and become more independent. We're going to be independent states. We're not going to rely on a federal leadership government. So I know it's not easy. It's difficult. I've been doing this for a year. I myself had a problem with wanting to ask permission. I wanted to ask permission to do this. I wanted to ask permission to do that. I didn't understand all the paperwork and what we were trying to do. But who's policing us? We are the people. We are the power. So when we're setting up this paperwork, if we do something we feel is wrong, we correct it. Because there's nobody out there policing this. And one of the ideas that I have too is coming up with what I would consider the equivalent of assemblies for dummies, a kit. A kit that we put together. It has a paper in there that says this kit includes, and it shows people where to order their seals. And if we replicate a kit, each county will be doing it pretty much the same way. And then we will be consistent throughout the state of Missouri, where we don't have, a whole bunch of different methods going on. That's my idea, but it's just my idea. If somebody else has something else that they think is a better idea, then I surely would be willing to hear it. But I just think that consistency is the key. And if each county is setting it up pretty much the exact same way, then we know what we have across our state. So that's my message. I really am disappointed I can't be there live and talk to you guys and maybe even take some questions. But just keep on keeping on. What Moses out of Minnesota tells me, keep on trucking. So keep on trucking. And I think we have a fabulous state. I think we have fabulous people. I'm very impressed with all the work that you guys do. And I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored to be a part of Missouri, because I have always thought it was a good state, and our people here are good, but we're spoiled. And that's evident in trying to get people to come out and be a part of an assembly. They don't see the need yet, but I think they're going to. I think that day is coming. And won't it be nice if we have the foundation ready? That foundation will be ready to go in each county, and all they have to do, and they will be relieved. All they have to do is register to vote. But before we get to that point, even, we can still get 38 states stood up and have a convention of the states, and we will be ready to go. But I think the focus also needs to be on the community, your neighborhoods. We don't know what's coming. We know something is coming, and we need to be on the ready, down to our neighborhoods even. I visit with my neighbors quite often, and they know what's going on around here, and we all know each other very well, and they all know my house is going to be the one to come to get fed. I told them I would feed them. So I think that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on the mini FEMAs, if you will, in each of our communities, because if all of that goes away, we have to count on ourselves. And so I think that that's something. I think Dean had shared with you guys at one time a PowerPoint that Tennessee had came up with, and it was about bartering and growing your own food and a militia, getting together small groups and stuff. I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, we don't know we're in uncharted territory. So that's where my focus on. I'm not going to focus on the negativity of others out there, people that want to hang on to the old. We're not going to imprint the old on the new. We're creating something new right now. And so I don't want to drag in that old stuff with us. That's what we want away from. We want to get away from that. Each state needs to be independent and not, have to answer to the federal government. And so what we're trying to teach people right now is get away from that. Get away from thinking that we have to have a leadership or somebody to ask or somebody to talk to. There's all kinds of examples out there, and we've mentioned them in the town halls. The California plan, which what we're going to do. Michael Oyola had some things that he was doing. I think he was out of Ohio. The Pennsylvania Pioneers, they're groups that will help. And there's just all kinds of Dave Roberts, I mean, you can go about this several different ways. So I hope that you guys, I hope that you're supporting me. I'm trying to do my best. It's not been an easy ride. I didn't think it was going to be easy, but I honestly didn't think it was going to be this complicated either. But we have been heavily indoctrinated to ask for permission, sit and raise our hands, wait till somebody tells us we can. That's what we need to be doing. That's the whole point of self-governance, is that we, the people, are in charge. And it's a new concept for us. Honestly, it's not easy. And I know people are struggling with it in other states as well, but we have to take the reins. We have to take the reins, and we have to start getting our counties stood up and get the state stood up so that we can be one state closer to having that convention of the states. I hope you guys have a awesome day. Thank you everyone who's putting in a lot of hard work. I think we have 3 ambassadors that I know of. If there's a 4th one, I'm unaware, but I know that we at least have 3. And I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And I'm wanting to get ready to do my own county, Taney County. And so we'll see where we go from here. But I feel positive. I feel energized. And that's the other thing. I'm trying to keep the energy positive, because positive attracts positive. People are tired of negative. I am. I won't even respond to anybody who's going to be negative, because that's not progress. We're not going to make any progress. So you guys have a great day. Wish I could have been there. Hopefully I'll be able to be there in person next month. Hopefully we'll see what happens. It's a busy time of the year. I love y'all. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.